Hello friends, students, today we are again going to study advanced welding. I Dr. Apurvanan today will be covering topics of physics of welding. Till now we have studied that how the advanced welding is done, what are the power equipments required, what is the importance of power equipment, how advanced welding is different from conventional welding, how one can think of when he think of advanced welding, and what are the parameters he should make sure for advanced welding. We have also studied the in the other lectures about the current, about AC and DC use, how they are how they can affect the properties of advanced welding, what is arc initiation, what is arc blow. Many things we have covered during last 3 to 4 lectures I have taken. Today I am going to take a topic which is very interesting, and that is physics of welding arc. We all know that equipment has power equipments has a effect, but those power equipment has a role up to a point. After that welding arc has importance to get the productive welding output. So, when I say physics of arc welding, it covers lot of topics. You all know that in physics we have studied about forces, and here also we are going to incorporate this forces for our welding purpose. How, what type of forces can develop, how they are important, and how we are going to understand that what is the effect of these forces. So, mainly we are going to study about arc forces, gravity forces, surface tension forces, forces due to impact of charge carriers, forces due to metal vapors, forces due to gas eruption, forces due to electromagnetic field. When students, when you will study these type of forces, you have to visualize the arc, and you have to visualize the arc and understand the physics involved in that arc. Basically, when you have gone in the workshop, you must have seen the I have already told you arc initiation. By touching the torch or electrode on the workpiece, you get that arc, you initiate the arc. Now, for that bright portion which you get as an arc, you are going to analyze the forces. So, think of that, and think of that arc initiation which is coming from that electrode, and think that what is happening and what can happen if. So, for that portion you have to make sure that you cover all type of forces. You can visualize all type of, or you should understand all type of forces which may act. So, this section of lecture presents the different forces acting in a typical arc zone and their effect on welding. So, that is important when you study force, what is the effect on the welding, this you have to visualize. Further, because of that arc welding, influence of heat generation and the cleaning action on the weld metal will be also discussed at the later part. And we are also going to take mechanism of arc blow and method of to overcome the same will also be discussed. So, these two will be discussed in the coming lectures. The first part we are going to take. Remember one thing, if you have understood the physics of arc welding, how the forces are acting, you can actually control those parameters. As a result, what is going to happen? You are going to get a productive weld. When I say you are going to get a productive weld, that means you do not have to rework, there will be a material saving, lot of savings in terms of productive nature will happen. So, it is very important first to understand the basics of this arc welding. I will take the next slide. So, an arc welding, the stability of arc welding depend on these forces. The type of arc welding we are doing, any type of arc welding we are doing, these combination of forces are going to happen at that arc, and stability of arc has a role in getting the best welds on because of these forces only. If we control these forces, then we are going to get the best weld beds. So, it is very important here to understand the arc force. I hope students that now by this time with this initial information, you must have understood that how this is the arc forces, the forces on the arc which we are getting has certainly role of stability. So, we will take one by one. This is the diagram which you can see on my left. This is the diagram. So, if you see this, you will see lot of things. This is electrode, the blue sign with the square one, the rectangle one, sorry, the rectangle one is nothing but the electrode, and the ball you are seeing is the arc. So, we are interested in that round arc, which is, I mean, it is not in round shape, but here in the diagram I have shown that. So, these are systematic diagrams showing different arc forces. The first A diagram, this is from A to F1 and F2. So, the A diagram shows gravitational forces, B diagram shows surface tension forces, C diagram shows forces due to the impact of charged particle, diagram D shows forces due to metal vapor. E1 to E5, if you see this E1 to E5 here, E1 to E4, you can E1 to E5 stages in forces generation due to gas eruption, and F1 and F2 are electromagnetic pinch forces. So, when I say electromagnetic pinch forces, pinching means what? Pinching. So, it becomes before leaving the electrode, the droplets pinching effect happens, that what I have shown, the pinching is there, and because of that molten metal drop goes into the molten pool of the welding bed. So, these are the diagrams which you have to understand. We will take one by one. So, nothing to bother about what is happening and what is the physics in that. So, you have to understand how the forces are acting on it. So, we will take one by one, please see this. So, before that we have to understand what is the stability of arc. All those welding processes in which electrode is expected to emit free electrons requires for easy arc initiation, and there is stability, selection of polarity affects the arc stability. You should remember one thing, the arc stability is in our hand. So, when I say the physics of arc, you have to understand that it is we are going to by putting the right condition at one place will give that arc stability. If we suppose we select a wrong polarity or we select a wrong electrode, thickness can matter. So, remember one thing, that we are never going to get stable arc, and whatever physics we apply is not going to work on it for stability of arc. Shielded metal arc welding using covered electrode having low ionization potential elements provide better stable arc stability with direct current electrode negative DCEN, then direct current electrode positive DCEP. We will take these two terms in our coming classes, do not worry. However, SMA welding with DCEP gives smoother metal transfer. Similarly, in case of GTAW welding, tungsten electrode is expected to emit electrons for providing a stable arc. So, we by this time we have understood that when we take correct type of power equipments, when we take correct type of electrodes, right kind of AC or DC or right kind of current polarities, then only we are going to get a stable arc. A stable arc is nothing out of box. We have to understand that a stable arc is the output of what we are choosing, what combination we are choosing, and because of that we can control the stable arc. So, now we will come to the all the forces acting in the arc zone are termed as arc forces. Whatever forces which are generating there are called as arc force. In respect of welding, influences of these forces on resisting or facilitating the detachment of molten metal drop hanging at the electrode tip is important, which in turn affect the mode of metal transfer and weld metal deposition efficiencies. I will show you to validate this, I will show you this diagram. See, students, you must see that whatever I have said is very true, because before leaving, this is at initial stage where the drop of where the electrode is there, and this is the development of arc. And when we are increasing this manner, these steps B, C, D, E1, E2, E3, E4 will happen, and by pinching you can see this pinching activity going on. Pinching means nothing but before leaving the electrode, pinching activity happens. So, these things are going to happen, and whatever forces are involved at this stage will cover under arc forces. Metal transfer is basically detachment and the movement of molten metal drop from the tip of the electrode to weld pool in the workpiece, and is of great practical importance because of two reasons. Flight duration of molten metal drop in the arc region affects the quality of weld metal and element transfer efficiency. Arc forces affect the deposition efficiency. Remember, what I want to mean from this two lines is that the way the droplets of molten metal transfer happens is very important. Students, you must have seen your taps at home. When you open the tap, water comes. There are 2-3 conditions you must have noticed. I will compare these lines with those things. When a drop is leaving, it is always in the form of oval shape. So, sometime you must have seen, if your tap is not okay, the drops keep on falling. Same way, and it is falling in a straight way. If the tap is not okay, you must have seen there will be splattering of water. If it is fast, if it is coming too fast, there will be splattering of water. So, the same idea you have to apply here also. When the welding is done from the electrode, when the heat is very high, the molten droplets are going to leave that. It can happen in many ways, because if it is not going to leave it in a proper way, it should go in the molten pool. If it goes here or there nearby the weld zone, so it is splattering, and when splattering happens, it spoil the weld beds. So, remember one thing, in ideal situation that droplet should go inside the molten metal zone, that welding zone. If it is not going there, it is going somewhere. So, it is going to affect the welding productivity, welding type. So, that a type of welding in which we are getting more splattering, more droplets coming out, scattering of droplets outside the zone, it is going to lead to a bad weld beds. And we always have we always in advanced welding want not to have that type of situation. So, arc forces are to be understood in a proper way, so that we can control these type of activities and can improve the productivity or efficiency of the welding. So, the first one in this line is gravity force. We all know gravity pulls the thing down. You can see in the figure A. This is due to the gravitational force acting on molten metal. When I say molten metal, remember one thing, that electrode is there and the droplet, the molten metal drop, which is going to go inside the welding molten metal pool. You think of that. So, gravity is going to pull it down. We always know that whenever there is a drop, because of its weight, it is going to go down. We have understood that in physics also. So, that is why we called as physics of welding, physics of arc. This is due to the gravitational forces acting on molten metal drop having at the tip of electrode. Gravitational forces depend on the volume of the drop and density of the metal. So, it depends upon volume and density of the metal, which is going to pull it down, In the case of downhand welding, gravitational forces helps in detachment or transfer of molten metal drop from electrode tip, while in case of overhead welding, it prevents the detachment, that is gravitational force. So, it is represented in welding, we represent it by Fg, which is equal to rho Vg, where rho is the density of the metal and V is the volume of the drop and G is the gravitational constant. Remember one thing, this is the very important force, and remember one thing, when you choose the electrode, you have to understand that the droplets, molten metal droplets, which are going to come after that when the welding will start, then it is going to depend on the density of the molten metal and the volume. So, that is very important parameter to be considered, and right kind of combination can give you the best results. Surface tension. Now, first of all, what is surface tension? Surface tension is a tendency of the liquid surfaces to shrink into the minimum surface area possible. That is what we have studied in our initial physics days in intermediate or engineering physics. Surface tension is a tendency of the liquid, suppose this is a droplet of a liquid, tendency of the liquid surfaces to shrink into the minimum surface area possible. So, that is going to happen here also, because the molten metal drop is nothing but it is a liquid, it is in a liquid form. So, the forces, this force is experienced by the drop of the liquid metal hanging at the tip of electrode due to the surface tension effect. Magnitude of the surface tension forces is influenced by size of the droplet, electrode diameter and surface tension coefficient. So, there are three things on which this parameter is going to is dependent is first is size of the droplet. So, the from the electrode what is the size of droplet which is going to come down, that is very important. So, surface tension has its role on that. Electrode diameter also has, because the electrode diameter and the size of the droplet is interrelated with, directly related with each other. So, electrode diameter is also very important, and surface tension coefficient, it depends on the type of electrode we are taking and the material we are taking in material of the electrode. So, surface tension coefficient is, these three parameters are to be understood very clearly to control these surface tension forces. If the right kind of droplets we can get, the correct electrode diameter we have chosen, I have already told you at the beginning of my lecture, and the surface tension coefficient of that is material of the electrode. So, then we never have to bother that what is going to happen at the end. This force tend to resist the detachment of molten metal drop from electrode tip and usually act against gravitational force. So, remember one thing, it acts against gravitational force when suppose it is very late going into the molten weld bed, that zone, the droplets coming out is very fast or very slow, it is going to affect your welding. If it is going to, so right kind of droplets going into the zone, that weld zone is very at right time is very and these gravitational forces and surface tension forces both are interdependent. So, this force tends to resist the detachment of molten metal drop from the electrode tip and usually acts against the gravitational forces. Remember one thing, that this is something which has to be thought very thoroughly before choosing the electrode, because it is going to have an effect of the molten metal droplet leaving the electrode and going to the weld zone, welding going to the that molten metal pool which is created duration weld. So, that right time is, if we want to get that right optimum time, then these two parameters are very important in case of surface tension force and gravitational force. In case of vertical and overhead welding position, high surface tension force help in placing the molten weld metal at required position more effectively by reducing tendency of falling down of molten weld metal. You can see in the figure B. So, surface tension has been shown by Fs is equal to 2 pi r e square upon 4 r, where r is the drop radius, that molten metal drop radius, and r is the radius of the electrode tip. An increase in temperature of the molten weld metal reduces the surface tension coefficient, hence this will reduce the hindering effect of the surface tension forces on detachment of drop, and so it will facilitate the detachment of drop from the electrode tip. Remember friends, I have told you that how gravitational forces, surface tension are going to affect the molten drops leaving the electrode. So, they have a lot of effect on these two, these two have a lot of effect on this molten metal drop leaving the electrode. Now, forces due to impact of charge carriers, as per polarity charged particles move towards anode or cathode and eventually impact collide with them. Force generated owing to impact of charges particle on the molten metal tip drop hanging at the tip of the electrode tends to hinder the diameter. The forces due to impact charge particle is Fm is equal to m dV upon dt, where m is the mass of the charged particle and v is the velocity and t is the time. We can see the diagram for this better understanding. Forces due to metal vapors, molten metal evaporating from the bottom of the drop and the weld pool move in upward direction. Forces generated due to the upward movement of the metal vapors act against the molten metal drop hanging at the tip of the electrode. Thus, this force tend to hinder the detachment of the droplet. See in the figure number D. Forces due to gas eruption. Gases present in the molten metal such as oxygen, hydrogen etc., may react with some of the element such as carbon present in the molten metal drop and form gaseous molecules. The growth of these gases molten metal drop as a function of time ultimately leads to bursting of metal drops, which is in turn increases the spattering and reduces the control over the handling of molten metal weld metals. So, these gases what they are doing, the drop which is coming from the electrode, they are making it into in this form. So, there will be spattering happening in that, and as a result you will get a bad quality weld beds. So, force due to the electromagnetic field, flow of current through the arc gap develops the electromagnetic field. So, the gap between the electrode and the workpiece, interaction of this electromagnetic field with that of charge carriers produces forces which tend to pinch. I have already told you what is pinching, pinch the drop hanging at the tip of the electrode, also called as pinch forces. The pinch forces reduces the cross section, the pinch forces reduces the cross section for the molten metal drop near the tip of the electrode, and thus helps the detachment of the droplets from the electrode tip. You can see the figure and the pinch forces formula also for better understanding. So, with this I am ending my lecture. So, you must have understood what type of forces and how these forces are responsible for detachment of the molten droplets which is going to go into the molten metal pool. So, if it is done in a right way, you are going to get clear weld beds, you are going to get right quality of weld beds. If it is not done in a proper way, surface tension, there is a problem in the surface tension, there is a problem in the electrode, there is arc gap, there is a problem in the arc gap, electromagnetic forces will occur. So, with this I end my lecture. Hopefully, it will make you understand physics of arc. Thank you very much.